Happy New Year's, everyone!
Hopefully everyone is having a great start to the new year, especially in the Magic community.
Here's hoping to great success for everyone in competitive and non-competitive play. Here's hoping to a great year of good products, good sets, good cards, and just overall, let's just hope it's a good year.
So we'll just hope for better things to come in 2019, beginning with Allegiances of Ravnica. So far from what we've seen, pretty good.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, James, there are some things that me and you want to discuss, also revolving the New Year's.
Yes! So, last year, all things considered, we were sort of on the slow, herpy-derpy side on trying to get stuff out to you guys. So, one of our resolutions for the new year is we are going to try and produce more content on a more consistent schedule for you guys. Now, that's still probably going to run into the roadblock that we had last year, but we're still going to try and make things work out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of comes down to work. More so me than you. And so, let's just hope that we can get our shit together, and here's hoping that we can try and make more consistent, persistent, and efficient content for you guys. Because we really want to make this a better year than last year.
I mean, as it stands, we're only, not including deck techs and other stuff, we're only on episode 9 of stuff. For you guys.
Well, I mean, this is a podcast sort of a deal, so podcasts can be more sporadic or interspersed in terms of content than just deck techs and other things. I mean, if this is our main thing, then that's one thing, and we should make more episodes if we're trying to make this the focus of our content creation. However, we want to make more content of differing varieties for you all. Podcasts, gameplay,
more deck techs,
and other things. We just want to try and have a bigger and better year for 2019 than 2018 was for us.
Also, on that note, if you guys have any recommendations, comments, or any possible ideas in terms of stuff that we can do in terms of providing content for you guys, let us know, because we have a few ideas that we possibly want to throw back and forth. One of the ideas that I've thrown out here and there, even though we're a casual channel, I've honestly have thought about having a section involving rules questions, anything of that nature, because we are friends with a L2 judge.
He's a pretty good person to talk to with involving rulings, because, let's be honest here, Magic is hard. That's what judges are for.
And as we jokingly say in our group of friends, I am a planeswalker! I am a planeswalker! I am a planeswalker! That's what we say whenever we
fuck up on a rule, or we fuck up on just basic Magic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're gonna try and have ideas like that, like ask a judge, something like that along the lines. We have ideas, but we want to hear suggestions. So we'll be asking around via Twitter, Facebook, hell, even just in comment section below, we'll be asking and trying to see what you all want us to do, and we'll just try and go from there. We'll try and get this ball rolling, hopefully not in the way where it's an ever heavier growing ball that we just continually have to push and just hope it's a snowball going down a hill and not crashes into anything. It's just a giant, beautiful snowball that just goes off on its own adventure.
And hopefully doesn't fall off a really steep cliff.
Like last year did. Anyways, let's get back to Allegiances, because, oh boy, Allegiances is looking pretty good. Like, Guilds was good?
Yeah, Guilds was exciting. I had fun at pre-release and draft. I usually don't.
But Allegiances, I think it's one-upping Guilds in terms of stuff that it's bringing. Like, hey, Orzhov, you're getting aristocrats back. Rakdos, you're doing Rakdos shenanigans. But also, you're pairing very, very nicely into aristocrats.
Mardu!
Like, Teysa and Judith are just made to be together. I don't care what anyone says. They are going into an aristocrats commander deck. Queen Marchesa players who do aristocrats type things, y'all got some nice toys.
Also, I would like to say, what is it, Seraph of the Scales, that 4-drop angel?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty good. And there's still more stuff to be released.
Like, some of the Gruul stuff even looks really good. Like, there's a 2-mana, a green and a red, 2/2 goblin that has Riot. So it either gets a +1/+1, or it gets haste.
Yeah.
So, Goblin Guide with less of a downside?
We'll see.
We'll just have to wait and see. But even some of the Simic stuff looks dumb.
Like that one commander person that everyone's trying to build around.
Oh, you mean the walking birthing pod?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's already going to be dumb, but I already also feel like it's going to be one of those cutesy, hey, this is going to be a hyped up thing, but it's going to just crash. Initially, I really do think it's going to be one of those cards where its value is going to spike due to hype, and it's just going to fall off a cliff.
Well, we'll see. Like, when Lazov the Multifarious was spoiled, everyone lost their shit, and then the professor released that video on Lazov Commander, then that also spiked up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Phyrexian Dreadnought was only like a couple of ish dollars because old magic is old magic. Even old cards from old magic, no matter how dumb they are still worth like a couple dollars just because old magic. And now Dreadnought's like $50.
I think it probably dropped a little bit, but I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't know, $50 is just a roundabout price range for anything that gets pretty hype.
Yeah.
So, moving along though, it looks pretty good. Azorius, it's just feeding into the blue-white control train. But then again, that's what Azorius does. It's gonna be kind of interesting to see, other than Dovin, who else is going to be the legendaries and mythics and otherwise.
Well, I mean, Lavinia had gotten spoiled pretty much at the beginning.
Besides Dovin and Lavinia, I wonder who else they're gonna bring in.
Oh, who knows? We'll have to see. I wonder, now this is just me, and this is probably hearkened by a few other people in the community. I don't know if we'll get it this set or next set, but I want Orzhov Elsbeth, damn it.
No, that's when we go back to Theros.
I still want Orzhov Elsbeth, damn it.
She's gonna come, everyone says she's gonna come back.
It's just when.
She gonna come back pissed, though.
Oh, yeah.
She gonna be mad.
Yeah.
I really do think Allegiances has a good chance to top what Guilds of Ravnica had done, and then I kind of hope the third set, story not included, tops the other two. Because I want it to be a reverse of what happened to Return to Ravnica, where Return to Ravnica was probably the best of those three, and then it just kind of went downhill from there, where we got Dragon's Maze and Gatecrash. I don't care what order they're in, because both of those were terrible. So, yeah, let's hope we have a reverse of that. Because, I'm not gonna lie, I agree with the professor in that the story at this point is just so off the rails in terms of what it wants to be because of the different authors they have in. Like, having different voices is okay to making a story, but you need to be consistent on things. Like, I don't want to get into too much of an English or book tangent on things, but storytelling is one of those things you have to be consistent on. I'm not saying that they're being inconsistent with it, but the way the professor and others have been touting about it, it's not that good in terms of how they're handling things. So here's hoping after the Justice League episodes are done and over with, we just take a break, don't deal with too much of the Justice League anymore, if at all, and go somewhere else away from this bullshit. Because after Nicol Bolas, I either want to go elsewhere to do some new exciting things, or go to New Phyrexia. Never mind.
I was gonna say, what if Nicol Bolas pulled a Thanos, just snapped his fingers, and just half the population left, and it was the Justice League minus, say, like, I don't know, Jace and one other or two other people.
Jace is too strong.
Well, fine then.
Well, no, he's
true. Character-wise, Jace is fairly powerful,
but he's not as powerful as Bolas, though. But anyways, that's another story for another time. We're getting a little too out of hand on this. But Ravnica, I'm definitely looking forward to Allegiances coming out.
Orzhov!
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm Orzhov also. I was gonna do Rakdos, but I like Orzhov too much as a killer. However, if in my pool of cards I pull Rakdos stuff, I'm not opposed to trying to force aristocrats to work.
No, the afterlife mechanic seems really damn good.
It seems strong.
So we'll just have to see how this pairs up, especially with like standard, or even if people try and brew for modern. We'll just have to see. Aristocrats in modern? Who knows?
I would love to see modern aristocrats come back just because aristocrats is kind of a under the radar type of a thing. Because there's a lot you can do with all the stuff we've gotten lately and how everything's been handled. I think black-white tokens or black-white aristocrats could make a comeback in Modern. Should something happen in Modern, like, hey, James, have you noticed how Modern's getting stupid fast?
I was just about to say, that's our next topic of conversation. Modern. I feel it's going to hit a bubble and just hit that wall of speed where it's just like, okay, this is going too damn quick. We need to slow things down, just get a roll back. I feel that Modern is definitely going too fast and too quick for everyone to really want to keep playing with it. Price notwithstanding, I definitely say it's getting too fast for people. And I definitely say without like blue-white control and Tron, as much as I love playing Tron, without those decks, it's sort of definitely, and I know Tron's not control, but it's paired in the control thing for whatever reason. But without those decks keeping everyone else sort of in check in some instances of things, it's definitely going to be off the rails at some point in juncture, and we're just going to wait to see how far and how massive the crash is for it. So, with that being said, I definitely think that Modern will probably hit a wall at some point in juncture. Not soon. Probably around like September, October, possibly. If not later. We'll go with that. I would like to see it become a 4 to 5 turn, even 6 turn format again.
I, as a burn player, I am okay with the format being fast, but at the same time, I like interaction. I like being able to play more grindy games. I love the grindy games. I don't want my matches to be over in like 5 to 10 to 15 minutes. While that's nice when you're in a large-scale competitive environment like a Magic Fest or a Star City Games event, I, on the whole, do enjoy interactive Magic. It's what makes gameplay compelling, interesting, and just keeps it simple. As complex of a game as Magic is, I like simplistic things. Burn being one of them.
I was just about to say, here you are saying, oh yeah, I love Burn. I want to go eat after 10 minutes of playing and call it a day. And go to my next round.
When it's competitive Magic and you're in like a 12-round event for a weekend, again at a Star City Games or a Magic Fest from Channel Fireball. I'm not getting used to saying that.
GPs!
But I definitely feel Modern is getting really fast. Although, funny enough, I haven't seen that many Storm players showing up. Like, it's still a fast format, but Storm apparently can't keep up somehow?
That's weird.
Like what?
I mean, I know they've banned to shit a lot of stuff that made Storm fast in the first place, but it's still resilient enough to stay. Save for banning Grape Shot outright.
Or Brawl, or anything like that, but I think Storm's been picked on too much already. But I definitely feel like Modern is too fast. It's a drag race, and it's just who can go faster. But drag races are simple and exciting to see because you have a one-and-done chance. With Magic, it's not simple, and it's not so much a one-and-done chance, but it's still really fast how the format's going right now. Granted, there are decks like Blue-White Control, Tron, Jeskai Control, and other such decks that are helping to keep the format in a somewhat slow pace. But I definitely feel like we will eventually, as James said, hit a wall, and it'll go back to maybe a turn 5 or 4 win format, because that was originally the intentions of Modern, was to be, at best, a turn 4 to 5 win format. Not turn 2.5 or turn 1 in some cases. Then again, turn 1's more Legacy's thing, and even then, turn 0's also Legacy's thing. So, I definitely feel like Modern is going to hit a wall, and I just am waiting for the day that it happens, because it's going to be like two trains colliding into each other.
Like I said, we'll just have to wait and see how massive and how extensive the damage is after the crash.
Yeah, WotC is probably going to have to go on some damage control, and I don't know how it's going to handle everything afterwards, but I feel like it's going to get to a point where they're like, hey, the fuck are we doing making this like a Pokemon or a Yu-Gi-Oh type thing where everyone's trying to win turn 1, 2, or no turns? Because those are things in those trading card games is turn 0 wins. Yeah, thanks Yu-Gi-Oh. Anyways, speaking of still doing things in Modern, recently I was listening to Professor and Vince, aka Pleasant Kenobi, on the internet, talking on the Dice Removal podcast about postmodern. While everyone is saying, well, what's postmodern? And the explanation to that is their proposal for postmodern, for those who have seen proposals for postmodern, it's going to be taking the modern format and shoving it as far forward as Magic Origins onward. Key point there is Magic Origins and not Khans Block, because Khans Block had fetches, and they're trying to avoid fetches. Shock lands? Okay. Fast lands like the ones we got in Kaladesh? Okay. Fetches? No bueno. Because we're not solving the problem at that point. So their proposal for postmodern, not so much Professor and Vince, but the internet's proposal for postmodern is have modern become a format where it's Magic Origins onward. The problems I can see arising from it is we may have another Kaladesh overrun of things. But with as many sets as there are, even still with postmodern possibly being a thing, I think it may have a chance to stand its own. It's not going to be like Frontier, where it's like, hey guys, we're going to have these 4 and 5 color decks win again, like Jeskai Black. I don't see that being a thing, but I still feel like, should it work, it'll have some of its own issues. Any new format does. But it just depends on how everything works out. Because the further you go with more sets, and the longer it keeps being a format, there are going to be some interesting rules, interactions, and other things that'll happen. And I'm intrigued to see how it works, but I fear it may come the wayside of Frontier and Tiny Leaders and be cool for like a month and then just die out.
The only other thing I could possibly see to counter you would be if they already have a ban list written up for everything, because like the Saheeli Rai Felidar Guardian combo, that could easily be first bans immediately implemented with the format if it goes through for it. Also, I could definitely see
Emrakul getting a ban and
Aeon's Torn, Aetherflux Reservoir.
No, not Aeon's Torn.
Promised End.
You play too much Tron, buddy. Yeah, Emrakul, Promised End, and Aetherflux Reservoir maybe.
Attune with Ether maybe also.
Reflector Mage. Like, the standard bans that got...
Wait, Reflector Mage was...
It got banned.
No, I know that, but that was...
When it was in standard.
And that was...
It's still in the same time frame. It's Origins onward. Battle for Zendikar came after Origins.
I gotta remind myself about that. That was so long ago.
But I feel like... Smuggler's Copter may also be a thing. But anyways, your countering point.
I was also going to say, the thing that I could possibly see is that instead of calling it postmodern and sort of shafting everyone that was already playing modern...
it's postmodern. That just sounds hoity-toity to me.
I could see what they will do is call this proposed format modern, call modern extended again.
No, no extended. No bueno extended.
Okay.
Bad.
Okay.
Bad, James. Bad.
Okay.
Bad. No, we're not doing that.
Okay. That was just a thought, but whatever.
I don't see them doing extended as a thing again. Although,
if they were to do extended again, what I could also probably see in that instance would be from Magic Origins back to 8th edition.
What?
Just calling that extended?
No. I mean, if they were to make that its own format, that would be kind of tricky. But then again, it's like everyone would lose their shit over, hey, I can't play with all these cards. And it's just like, okay.
Because, right, we have to think of MTG finance community and also collectors.
Yeah. But what would it do? Would modern as we know it still be a thing and postmodern be... I see there being pros and cons to doing a postmodern type format, but I still feel like modern, as strong and as lively as it is as a format, will still be the dominant or second most dominant format for Magic behind Standard and Commander. Because honestly, Standard's coming back into its own after all the oppressive bullshit that was going on back when Kaladesh was a thing, so... I don't like Standard, but I'm happy to see it come back into the realm of relevance again. Yay! But moving along to kind of add a side note to things, I don't know how they're going to handle the Standard Plus thing that MTG Arena is doing. While it's a cool idea to bring back the older sets that were made for MTG Arena, so say Amonkhet, Kaladesh, sets like that, I feel like there's going to be a point where they're going to try and dump all of the information from the old sets in, and whether they try and get modern into it and just leave it as modern and standard and call it a day, I could see them doing that, but I don't know how they'd be able to handle something like standard and then standard plus, which it's either going to be modern or it's going to not be modern, and it's just going to be basically MTG Arena's version of extended. While I know I just said no to extended, everyone's basically calling standard plus extended for MTG Arena. So I don't know how that's going to happen, I don't know how the postmodern thing's going to happen, but I just feel like it's going to be one of those things where it's going to happen and everyone's going to get mad over it until they figure it out, and then everything's going to be fine. And you know, James, help.
I'm just here so I won't get fined for that portion of it. I haven't really paid too much attention to Standard Plus on MTG Arena and things of that nature. I know with the whole Standard Pauper event that they had going on recently, that was widely successful.
Oh yeah, that was really successful.
We'll have to see how Pauper does on Arena. That's a thing that I know the professor has been definitely clamoring for. Well, he's been clamoring for Pauper to be recognized as a format in paper for eons, and I appreciate his efforts.
Oh yeah, that dude has done so much for the Pauper community.
He wants to get it out from the basement of MTGO and into the paper community, and hopefully we'll actually have a format of Pauper be an actual SCG event or an actual Magic Fest. Fuck it, I'm calling it a GP. A Pauper GP, which would be cool as hell.
Here's hoping Pauper GP is a 2019 goal. I really think it would happen.
I would be excited.
But anyways, getting back to modern.
Trainwreck.
Besides the train wreck.
Well, it's not a train wreck of a format. It's going to be a train wreck in terms of two bullet trains hitting each other.
Seeing how the speed thing goes. But anyways, kind of as a preemptive measure of that, I feel like they may or may not do some bannings or unbannings for it. So let's discuss some potential bannings or unbannings. James, what do you think?
As much as I hate to say this, and as much as the community has been clamoring for it, I definitely can say Ancient Stirrings could see it, but I really don't know. It's still been up in the air for all these months. I don't want to see it happen, but as a Tron player, it may happen.
Because that card is in Tron, Affinity, Hardened Scales Affinity, KCI, Amulet Titan,
yep,
and some other fringy artifactor, mostly monocolored decks. Oh, Eldrazi also. Mono green Eldrazi is a thing that it does.
Yeah. So, as much as I don't want to see it go, I could at least say, with me being the red-green variant of Tron, and especially also with, I know KC already has this, and also with, Hollow One, I could see us starting to go towards Faithless Lootings, more so as the main. I know Hollowed One has them already, but with Ancient Stirrings possibly being out of the picture, I know Faithless Looting won't be the end-all be-all for us, but it would be at least a decent alternative. So we'll just have to see how things go within the near future for it. I don't want to see Ancient Stirrings go, but we'll see. I know Hollow One and KCI. KCI has sort of been showing up a lot more recently. Hollow One was cool for a hot minute and still has a decent following for it, but I'd slowly sort of tapered off. So we'll just have to see. That's at least how I view things for it. And again, as much as I don't want to see it happen, I feel like it may. So we'll see.
I think Ancient Stirrings won't get banned. About the only thing I can think of that may happen as a result for the next banned and restricted announcements, I feel like Splinter Twin may make a comeback. Honestly, I feel like it's going to make its return. It's going to make its return. It's going to be time to show that Eldrazi Winter was a bad idea to have, and we'll have a resurgence of twin players. Me, myself, am kind of excited because I do love me some Izzet, and having one of the more set-in-stone archetypes for a Izzet deck back would be kind of cool. Really think anything else should or could get unbanned. Unban Stoneforge Mystic, please.
In Modern. I honestly don't think that'll happen. But, Stoneblade, who knows? We'll see.
I swear to God, if they fucking unban Stoneforge Mystic, I'm going to be on Drago like white on rice. I'm not even kidding. That has been like my favorite deck since way back when I first started back in 2012, 2011. Back when it was in standard, I'm just like, that deck looks dumb. I want to play it.
Couldn't play it.
Couldn't play it because I was a poor, broke high school student. Anyways, I really think that Twin and maybe Stoneforge Mystic could see an unbanning. I don't think both of them will, but I think one or the other.
The reason I say Twin could get unbanned, especially with the whole thing of Jace, aside from blue-white control and maybe some other decks here and there,
Blue Moon.
He's been sort of, He wasn't as pertinent of a boogeyman as once thought to be, especially, again, with how fast the format is.
It kind of helped him.
It definitely has helped his case to remain and stay. Who knows, if it becomes the more slow and grindy way, then I can maybe see where the bitching and whining might come back. But we'll just have to see. Splinter Twin, I can definitely see. Well, like, especially considering the fact of the matter, it doesn't have Gataxian Probe anymore to help say, oh, hey, no.
Yeah, but now you have Opt, Serum Vision, Sleight of Hand, Manamorphose, how many other things?
The Pyretic Ritual.
Pyretic Rituals, how many things that you can help with the deck. It's not going to so much be like a Storm deck or an Arclight Phoenix deck. I don't think it'll be like that, but it's still going to have many ways to make itself work, and it'll adjust itself to the new ways of Modern. I think it'll still be a good deck should they unban Twin. I think Twin getting unbanned and maybe Ancient Stirrings getting banned will be the way to go. Other than that, I still think Modern's a rather healthy format the way it is.
I just had a very obscure question.
So,
what would happen if they banned fetch lands or restricted fetch lands?
I don't want to think about that.
Okay, that was just something that popped in my head. Leave a comment below to see what everyone else thinks.
I don't want to... Why did you hurt my brain this late at night? We're recording at about 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, by the way. I'm tired. Why did you have to go and hurt my brain like that? Why would they...
I just thought of it, sorry.
And they wouldn't do restrictions. They don't... Modern is not a restrictive format. They don't do restrictions.
Oh, who knows?
They could to help test the waters on things, but no, they're not going to ban fetch lands.
I just thought of it.
They're just not going to.
Again, that was just a thought.
Why did you have to bring that up as a question?
I don't know.
They're not going to do that.
I don't know. I just did. I just randomly was like, hey, ask this.
So, let's review. James and I have some New Year's resolutions for the channel that we want to try and do.
Orzhov all the way for pre-release.
Orzhov all the way for pre-release. Allegiances of Ravnica looks really good. Here's hoping the third and final set for Ravnica goes well. Here's hoping it doesn't disappoint us. Here's hoping we get away from the Jace's League. Here's hoping Modern doesn't hit a wall, but here's hoping it also figures itself out and isn't Speedy Gonzalez all the way. Here's hoping we may or may not get some bans and unbans. And here's hoping you all have a safe and happy New Year's. Bye, everyone!
Bye.